I want to do a little bit of a chatty video today. Just sit down on my floor, because this is the only good camera angle that I have at the moment, and talk about goals a little bit. I really can't believe that June is over. It went by so fast. I feel like I was just setting up my June calendar like a week ago, and now it's over, and that means that we are officially halfway through the year. Kind of want to touch base today on how I wanted this year to go, how it's going so far, what I want to do the rest of the year, and all of that. I did not make a goals video at the beginning of the year, and that was because we were moving in January and my whole life was very upside down, and I wanted to sit down and think carefully about my plans for the year. And so I kind of just did that in February after we were all settled. I have gone back and looked at these occasionally, but I haven't really been referring to them very closely, and I don't really remember everything that I wrote down, so it will be very interesting going over everything and seeing if I've just subconsciously been doing the things that I wanted to do. I track my 3 projects for each month, so I am, being a little intentional about the writing project that I'm working on every month, the YouTube project, and personal project. So I do think carefully about what I'm spending my time on, and hopefully that aligns a little bit with the things I wrote down as far as 2021 goals. But I honestly don't know what kind of grade I'm going to be able to give myself. So yeah, let's just get into it, and this will be interesting. Okay, you can see all of them here. Oh god, this is a lot. Okay, so right, so the 5 categories are writing, reading, joy, health, and household. Oh boy. Let's just start with the one that's most relevant, which is writing. For writing, my first goal was to do 1 full revision of my current fantasy novel. We are not halfway through, but 30,000 words through a revision. So I feel really good about that. In progress. I'm gonna give myself a half tick for that. The next writing goal was outline a new project. I have not talked about this at all because it happened so fast, but I did actually do this. I have outlined a whole new project, and that outline is just kind of sitting in my dabble, waiting for NaNoWriMo. So it was an idea for a contemporary romance, but it also has a time travel twist. It's just kind of been percolating in the back of my mind forever, and I was reading that book by Martha Alderson. The act of reading that book and kind of bouncing it off of Save the Cat, I was thinking a lot about middles and plots, and just to kind of practice what I was learning, I went ahead and just dumped this whole outline into Dabble. And I did it all in one sitting. I was just amazed. Remember, Luke and I were sitting on the couch, and he looked at me and was like, "You just did a lot of typing there for a while." And I was like, "I know, I just outlined a whole book." Now I have that outline just kind of sitting there waiting for November. So that's going to be what I'm working on in November, hopefully. Other writing goal, oh god, was to outline book 2, so my fantasy novel sequel. I don't know. I figured out a lot of stuff about book 2 this year so far because I realized that I needed to end book 1 a lot sooner than I was. I guess you could say that I have a whole chunk of stuff kind of figured out because I originally thought it was in book 1 and now it's getting chucked to book 2. That kind of taught me that I just need to work on book 1. And so much is going to change about that plot that I really don't feel ready to do the book 2 outline. I kind of just want to see where book 1 lands, make sure that it's ending in the right place. Guess I'm going to give myself an X for that one. Next writing goal was to write 2 short stories. I have not done any short stories. I have not done any short fiction. I still really want to. I really want to. I just don't know when, because I'm so focused on getting this fantasy book done that any time spent away from it feels like cheating and feels like slowing myself down. So yeah, so far I just really haven't wanted to divvy up my writing time like that. I really just have laser focus on the fantasy book, but it would be really cool if I just took a weekend and just tried something. That should be something that I could totally do and shouldn't feel guilty about taking the time to do. Because short fiction used to be like my jam. I loved writing short stories. That's all I did during my writing degree. That's what I thought I was going to continue doing after my writing degree. And it just hasn't really been calling me, I guess, but I think it's a muscle. I think with practice you start to notice again things that would make a good short story, and you just have to get a little more in tune with those sorts of ideas again. So yeah, I'm gonna get a big fat X for that one. Okay, here's one I can check off. My next writing goal was to keep making videos, and obviously we're still doing it, so that's cool. I'll get a check for that. And my last writing goal was to find a writing group in Atlanta. So far I have not made any progress on this, but I still want to do this, and I think it'd be super valuable to have like writing groups in person. I'm also gonna try and like go to NaNoWriMo events in November and, you know, see what the scene is like. But I also like don't have a super like hole in my heart for a writing group because I'm so active in our online community, so I know like if I needed beta readers I could probably find some, and that's comforting. So I'm not super disappointed that I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna say that I will. I'm gonna do it. But yeah, so far I get an X. Okay, this is the one that I'm nervous for. The next section is reading goals. So I don't know how this one's gonna go. I am in a reader recovery phase of life, where when I got out of college, my reading brain was broken and I basically forgot how to read. And so every year since then, I've been slowly like building my reading habit back up and remembering what I like to read as opposed to what I was forced to read in college, and, you know, just trying to learn how to read for fun. So I don't read as much as some people, so don't judge me. My first goal was to switch to using Storygraph, and I get a check. Yes, I switched to Storygraph. I no longer use Goodreads because Amazon can go to hell, and I'm loving it. I love that I have no friends on Storygraph. I'm never going to tell anyone my Storygraph name. I'm not interested in having my reading be a social media anymore, and it's really nice to have it just be for me. I kind of love that my reading is now like in solitude again. It feels cozy, and not that I ever like had a lot of people like following me on Goodreads or anything, like definitely not, but I just didn't like the idea of being watched. I don't know, that might sound crazy, but anyway, loving Storygraph so far, so that gets a check. Okay, this next one, my next reading goal was to use the library. I don't think I can give this one to myself because although I have checked out a lot of audiobooks through Libby, I never finish them. I am in a love-hate relationship with audiobooks where I think I can get myself to enjoy them, and then I realize that I've been listening to 3 hours of one and I don't understand anything that's happening, and then I let it expire. So I've not completed any audiobooks through Libby, and I haven't gotten my Atlanta library card yet. That's kind of going to be a part of my whole like name change process. Yeah, I can't wait. Another thing to add to the pile.
Thank you, patriarchy.
So I'm still waiting on the library card, but I do like look forward so much to going to the library and picking books off the shelf. The next reading goal was to do one reread for the year. So far I have not done that reread. I have no idea what it's going to be, but that sounds easy. That sounds like something I should be able to do. I just haven't done it yet, so X for now, I guess. This is the one that I'm most ashamed of. Read unread books that I already own. I've only read 8 books so far this year, and none of them were books that I already owned. 6 of them were books that I bought and then immediately read, so new books added to my shelf, and 2 of them were books that I borrowed from a friend. So that's not good. That's something I want to do better, because I also bought a lot of books this year that I haven't even read yet, so excuse me. So that's a big fat X. Next, I wanted to read a lot of adult fantasy. So out of the 8 books I read so far this year, 1 was adult fantasy. That's something. That's not a lot though. I really wanted to read a lot of adult fantasy because I'm writing in that genre, so I just want to be more familiar with it. I'm gonna give myself a half a check mark. Okay, and my last reading goal was to read most days of the week. So like I said, I'm kind of trying to heal my reading habit still. Get better about winding down at night, putting the phone down, and just picking up a book instead. I really didn't honestly know how well I did with this, just kind of naturally read when I felt like it. I went back and looked at all of my habit trackers, so I can actually see every day of the year so far whether I read or not. So I have some data. And for the most part, I read between 40 to 50% of the days. So that's, first of all, a lot better than I thought. I was really scared. I was really nervous. I thought, you guys are gonna have to judge me. That's not most of the time though. And my goal was to read most days of the week. Could do a little bit better. I think I can definitely hit that, and summer is like a big reading season for me. So I am hopeful. And I'm gonna give myself a really nice half check mark. The next category that we are moving into is joy. Joy. Stuff that feeds your soul. The first joy goal that I wrote down was to create a workspace that I love. I knew when I made these goals that we were moving and I was finally gonna have my very first office all to myself. And I really wanted to just decorate it, make it a happy place. And I did that. This one gets a big fat check, and I made a whole vlog of me redoing the whole office so you can see what a project it was and how it turned out, but I absolutely love it. Yeah, achieved that one. I'm sure this is the one that everybody had on their goals for the year. It is less screen time, use app timers, and leave my phone in a specific spot. In the beginning of 2020, I definitely doom scrolled an unhealthy amount. I don't doom scroll anymore, but I do stupid scroll. And I do have app timers set up on my phone, so I only get 20 minutes a day on Instagram and Facebook, but if I want to, I can always just go into that timer and just be I want another 10 minutes, and then those 10 minutes are up and I want another 10 minutes and I want another 10 minutes. I think the real thing that would change screen time for me is putting the phone down in a spot and being once it's in this spot, we're done, or I don't look at my phone past 9 p.m. I think that is what I should do. I think I'm gonna give myself an X. I don't think I really deserve this one. And the last joy goal is have a wedding that we love and that follows our values. So yeah, I think this is in progress. We're definitely on our way. We are T-minus 80 days away from the wedding now. I'm learning how to communicate what I want to people, and having to say we don't care about this or we do care about this, and I'm really proud of us so far for everything that we've set up. Hopefully it goes good. Okay, we're gonna bust through these last two categories, but the next category is health. And I wrote reintroduce cardio and try Zumba. So I really wanted to get exercise back into my life. What I did do was hit the next goal, which was just move my body every day. So just do something, whether it's yoga, strength training. Those are kind of more what I've been doing, not so much on the cardio side. I just really hate cardio. I think I get an X for cardio, but I think I get a half point for just moving more. Get vaccinated ASAP. Done. As soon as they opened up vaccines for people with pre-existing conditions in April, I was first in line. I'm super grateful for that, super appreciative. That was kind of a silly goal because it wasn't really within our control, but I think when I wrote that down, I just really needed to feel there was some hope and it was gonna happen eventually. I just needed to look forward to it, and now it's done. The last health goal was regain confidence with mental health. I'm a person who highly struggles with anxiety and doing stuff, just leaving the house. And I think yeah, I'm gonna give this to myself as like a in progress, because we, as soon as we got vaccinated, have been going out to restaurants again, have been slowly starting to do stuff again, and I can feel my anxiety hating every minute of it, but I haven't allowed it to stop me from trying. It's definitely going to be a process, like coming out of lockdown and readjusting and forcing myself back into exposure therapy because I kind of just got to chill and take a break from that during lockdown and just say like, sorry, I have to stay in my house. For the first time in a long time, I really want to go places. Like, I am sick of being in my house. I want to go to the theater. I really want to go to the botanical gardens or go to a concert. I can feel that 2020 was very healing for me, but I'm ready. I'm ready to do more. Okay, last category, and last category is household. There are two here that I'll talk about. The first one is join our finances. That is an after wedding goal. Haven't gotten to do that yet. Follow a better grocery and meal prep routine. Figuring out what to have for dinner all the time is like the thing everyone hates, including me. I'm gonna give myself like a half point. I figured out that I could have groceries delivered during 2020. That has made such a huge difference as far as us eating better meals, having food in the house. We do get food a lot, but not as much as we used to. We used to put off grocery shopping so much that the fridge would be like completely empty. Oh my god, we need to go to the store. Now I'm just in the habit of like ordering a few things like every Monday or Tuesday, so that it just feels like we're never really getting to that desperate point of like, guess we're going to get takeout again. But as far as meal prep, no, I haven't been doing that at all. Haven't even tried. Alright, well, the sun is going down, so I think I need to wrap up this video. That was everything I wrote down for 2021. That was everything that I was thinking about in February, everything that I was hoping for, and I think I did alright. I'll give myself like a grade here, however I ended up calculating it. This is kind of what I scored myself. And it was really nice to sit down and just kind of refresh myself on these, and particularly for the writing goals, I'm just really excited to see what the second half of the year brings. I know I'm nervous about balancing it with wedding stuff. Once that is over, I can't wait to start a new project. Can't wait to figure out what the heck's going on with the sequel. Can't wait to try short stories. I'm just really, motivated. First half of the year went really well. I've done so much work on this book, and I'm so proud that I'm still working on it. Now that I'm at the 30K mark in this revision, I kind of feel like I'm over the tipping point. Yeah, I have high hopes for the rest of the year. If you made any goals for 2021 or you're doing a mid-year check-in, let me know how you're doing so far, and what do you want to do for the rest of the year? What's your plan? What projects are you doing? Let me know. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!